Hey guys, welcome back to Stardew Valley, continuing from, where we left off. I'm gonna try to talk a little bit, a little bit more about, my life today. A little bit about, a little more about, who I am and, you know, how I live and, give y'all an idea of, like, how my life is lived. So, yeah, that's what we'll be talking about today. We'll be covering a good bit of Final Fantasy as well. So, I think we'll start off with a little more about, my life and, about my channel and whatnot. But, yeah, that's what we'll be doing. And I'll try to focus on, doing that and doing my farming right now, so if I get a little off track, but yeah. So anyway, when it comes to I live with, like I said in the last video, I don't really have much in the way of skills and whatnot, and all that. Gaming, like I said, gaming is the only skill I really have, and everything unlike most people who try to spin a story just so they can get likes and views and subscriptions. Everything I tell you is 100% true. Because I'm not that good, or I'm not that smart at being able to spin a story. I'm in no way like a smart person. Going through school, I was in special ed, so yeah, I'm in no way a smart person. But the only way I'm really smart is video game smart. That's the only way I'm really smart is, video game smart. But yeah, I live with my mom and my grandma. We all live, we all live in the same trailer. We did, where we currently live, we moved up here. And when we moved up here, me and my mom, my brother, and his kids, we all lived in the same trailer. And we lived like, I mean, you could take a minute walk and get to my nan's house, where she lived with my grandpa and a few others that stayed in there. And we, no one in our house really worked. My brother was the one that was, taking care of the bills for the house back then. When me and my mom and them lived in her trailer. But eventually it got to where it couldn't keep up with the bills and everything got shut off, so we had to move up here with my grandma. So we had a good bit of people living up here in our trailer, and went from having my own room to having to share a room with my brother. Then eventually I was like just slowly pushed out of that room, and I had to like throw like this single mattress like back in the dining room with my TV and whatnot, and just sleep back there. And it was fine. I had a little area of my own. But later when my pop passed away, my nan got a nice little check or something or whatnot, and we used that to remodel our house. And they decided to throw up a wall back where I was staying, they took a small section of the dining room and gave me a wall and a door. So I now once again have my own room, and I'm extremely grateful for that. So, yeah, and the way bills are taken care of, my nan gets a check every so often. And she uses that to pay the bills and get a little bit of groceries, because we live on food stamps. We get food stamps every month. And when we're getting close to run out is usually when Nanny will get her check, and she'll pay the bills and buy us a little bit of groceries, so we have plenty to eat on until get our groceries food stamps next month. So yeah, here at my house we're in no way, particularly. I would say we're not poor, but we're not middle class. We're like in between that area. We live decent. We don't really have the money to take care of like medical bills or anything like that. Would usually if somebody had a like a prescription they needed filled, we always had to figure out a way to borrow money to get it filled. So yeah, that's a little bit about my life and how I live. And I'm not one of those people that need a lot. I got my room, I got my games. I'm happy. If I won the lottery, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't be one of those people who go out and just all of a sudden just start buying like cars and a house and whatnot. If I won the lottery, I would be smart about how I spend that money. I would at best probably finance a new trailer for, me and my family to live in. One that's, a little bit bigger than what we currently have. I don't know if y'all could hear it. I have people almost near my door talking. That would be my mom if y'all heard anything. Talking to somebody else. But yeah, there's a little bit about, my life, where I live and whatnot. But anyway, like I said, we'll also be talking a little bit about Final Fantasy. So, I cannot wait. If I had the money, I would definitely buy and download Final Fantasy VII Remastered, and would definitely stream that for y'all, because I know any big Final Fantasy fan is looking forward to that. Now, I have downloaded the demo and played it, and my god, it looks absolutely amazing. Back when I was younger and I played Final Fantasy VII, after a few years later, I was looking at it and it's like, it's decently old. This is back when the PlayStation 3 was out, and I was playing it one day and I was like, looking at the graphics compared to the PlayStation 3 compared to the PlayStation, and I was like, it's decently old now. And I said, I wish I would like to see it like redone. I'd like to see them like redo it for like the PlayStation 3. Which, I mean, back when I heard they were doing a Final Fantasy VII Remastered, I was just absolutely happy. Because for me, Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy. And in my opinion, it is the best. I know any big Final Fantasy fan out there will be like, actually, no, this one was better, or this one. You know, that's your opinion. And I respect it. You know, not everyone has the same favorite game. I'm sure there are people out there who agree with me. It's like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII was the best. And then there's people who'll be like, oh no, Final Fantasy 13 or Final Fantasy 8 or Final Fantasy 2. You know, everyone has their favorite Final Fantasy. And like, for me, Final Fantasy VII was my absolute favorite because it was the, like I said, it was the first one I ever played. But I'd have to say, my top 3 Final Fantasies are Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 10, and then Final Fantasy 13. And one day when I was scrolling through the App Store on my phone, I saw this thing called, this little app game called Final Fantasy Record Keepers, and I was like, what is this? So I downloaded it, and I was like, I was blown away by the idea. I was like, basically create your dream team of Final Fantasy characters. I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is an amazing idea. Just your dream team of Final Fantasy characters. I was like, yes. It's like, I love this idea. Played it for a while, you know, I eventually deleted it. No, I don't know why, I just decided to delete it one day. But, you know, my team for a long time, and most of the game, was of course Cloud, you know, Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, my absolute favorite character. Final Fantasy X, or well, one other character from Final Fantasy VII is I think his name was like Red 13 or something like that. If you play Final Fantasy VII, you know who I'm talking about. The red like wolf-looking guy. He was my second. My third character was Tidus from Final Fantasy X. And then my last two characters that rounded out my team was the Farron sisters from Final Fantasy 13, Lightning and Sarah. Now in terms of, like I said, Final Fantasy X, top 3, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 13. Now, when I say that, I don't just mean like Final Fantasy X. When I say, I mean like Final Fantasy X and X too. Same with 13. I mean Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2 and 13 Lightning Returns. You know, those are my favorite Final Fantasies. Oh, look at this. We have a little scene. But yeah, that was a little bit about, you know, my life. And then a little bit about Final Fantasy. What is y'all's favorite Final Fantasy or favorite Final Fantasy characters? Hmm. Now, you're wondering which one you should choose? Is, to get some hearts from him, you say, no, it's a shame for food to go to waste. We made him extremely happy. Why would I just walk behind the Stardrop Saloon? It makes no sense. He should have just like kept walking off camera. Oh, isn't that nice? It's a nice community. But yeah, I find it weird that he just, walks behind the Stardrop Saloon. I think it would have been better if they just had him, like, continue to walk off camera. But yeah, please let me know what y'all's favorite Final Fantasy and, what's your favorite Final Fantasy characters. And it doesn't matter, like, good or bad guys. Because, in all honesty, another Final Fantasy character I really like, because he's extremely evil, but he's extremely badass, is Sephiroth. I think a lot of people really like him as a bad guy in the Final Fantasy universe. It was also amazing to me how he always wielded that, like, just that long ass katana. It was just like freaking huge. Or not huge, it was freaking long. And I think another weapon I really loved. Ooh, we have another ancient fruit. Excellent, that puts us up to 3. And we can make a seed maker, actually. Yes, we can. So we need wood. It was wood, coal, and gold. So we'll make about 3. Because we don't want to... We want a little bit, but we don't want to use up... we plan on using our gold for... sprinklers. Speaking of that, let's grab some of our coal. We did pick up a little bit of copper, so we can make some more smelters. Or furnaces, I'm sorry. There. 4 more copper, we can make another furnace. So, let's go plop these down. And get some more gold on the go. Because, like I said, the more gold, iron, and quartz we get, the more sprinklers we can get. Well, let's also plop down these seed makers. There. Now let's grab these ancient fruit and go make these into seeds. So we have 3. Any extra we get is a bonus. If we get 4, if we manage to get 1 more, that's good. If not, any extras we get that's above 3 is good. I think the best we can get is 6. 1, 3, 4. It's okay. Like I said, any extra we get is good. Alrighty. Plus, now that we have the ability to make, any produce into seeds, when this wheat grows, we can take some of it and start turning it into seeds. So we can really make ourselves... Then we get that set up. If you've seen my special look episode, we get enough seed makers, we could eventually, like... The only thing we'd need to go buy is fertilizer every month. And that'll be the only thing we'd have to buy. Because it's, making the speed grow and all that is... if we go to our crafting, deluxe speed grow is oak, resin, and coral. And you get, if you plant a good bit of oak trees and have them tapped up, you can get a good bit of oak resin. But in terms of coral, that's day by day. If you wanted to use quality fertilizer, you can only go by, sap and fish. If you had a bunch of crab pots, all you'd have to worry about is baiting those up. Then all you have to do is worry about just chopping down trees to get sap. But, yeah, this will about, I think that'll about do it for this Stardew Valley. Thank y'all for joining me. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Goodbye.